It seems nowadays that men in dresses are everywhere. So you might ask yourself, hold on, what is going on? Well, this is Harry Styles, a world-renowned pop singer in a dress. And this is Pete Davidson, a famous celebrity also in a dress. I mean, the list of them, that is men who wield influence wearing dresses, is alarming. Surprisingly, we now have men who dress like women, normally referred to as drag queens, doing unspeakable things in front of children. And this may leave you asking, what in the world is going on? Well, according to what you have seen, there's been an epidemic. The epidemic where war is being waged against masculinity and men are being feminized. It's a classic perversion incident where right is called wrong and wrong is called right.
An attack on masculinity is an attack on the God who created us. He created us male and female. We are not the same. And there is beauty in the differences between male and female.
I mean, men went from looking like this in the past years to now we have men who are effeminate, who look like this. You can't even tell that they are men by the way they look. And I don't know if you see it, but when something looks good to the eye in its natural form, then it's perverted. It starts to become repulsive. I mean, when God created man, He gave him certain physical features. And when He created a woman, God also gave a woman certain physical features. And the man in his natural created form cannot switch to look like this. If he does so, it's gonna make him look repulsive, for it's unnatural. A woman can't convert and look like this. I mean, you know it and I know it. It just doesn't feel or look right. But here we are in our current society where men are being told they can change their natural gender, and people are even getting serious repercussions for speaking out against this. It's like you're not allowed to challenge this new norm. And I mean, men used to be manly, men used to be strong, men used to be masculine, and women used to be feminine, a little softer. But now there are movements that are aimed solely at changing this natural form. Men are being encouraged to be feminine and act like women. And you saw the clips that we played earlier in the video. These perversions are coming mostly from Hollywood, the place where abominations reign and are pushed to the world. For John Cena, for example, which in my opinion looks like one of the most manly individuals out there, for him to yield to this and dress like this, even if it's just for a movie role, is just not right. And some of you may say, well, what's the big fuss? It is just art. Well, I remember I used to watch a lot of movies with cuss words in the recent years, and that inspired me to speak with a foul mouth. But recently, when I decided to take my walk with the Lord seriously, the Lord sanctified me and I stopped saying filthy cuss words like the F word, for example, which I honestly used to say a lot in my sentences. So yes, movies do inspire people who watch it to act in a certain way. If you watch a lot of movies with cuss words, most certainly you're gonna start to act like that person in the movie that says a lot of filthy words. So this is a big deal. When those with influence push the agendas like the feminization of men, it is a big deal. Because when you can influence an entire society of young men who are supposed to be the men of tomorrow, if you influence them to be like women, then you're destroying society itself.
And the problem is that when you attack masculinity, you are actually attacking a preserving force. If you don't have strong men in a culture, then what you have is young men who are not kept in check. And what do? They wreak havoc. And when those young men wreak havoc, you start looking around, and what do you immediately want? You immediately want someone or something strong enough to bring that into order again. So it's like we're creating a problem that we're going to have to run around and try to solve. And the way that that problem is solved is by the very thing that you attacked in the first place.
And I don't know if you know about this, but in this channel, Acts 9, there is a mention of these people who will not inherit the kingdom of God.